call the meeting of the Kent County Board of Commissioners to order. I will ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Commissioners Morse.
Here.
Merchant.
Here.
DeBoer.
Here.
Hildenbrand. Here. Steck.
Here.
Ponstein. Here. Vice Chair Burrow.
Here.
Commissioners Coleman.
Here.
Halsted.
Here.
Teal.
Here.
Sparks.
Present.
McLeod. Hennessy.
Here.
Oliver King. LeGrand.
Here.
Womack.
Here.
Minority Vice Chair Faber.
Here.
Commissioners Pakla. Morales.
Here.
Bujak.
Present.
Chair Green.
Here.
Mr. Chair, you have 18 members present, 3 absent. You have a quorum.
Thank you. We will move to agenda item number 3, and I'd like to call on Commissioner DeBoer.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, everyone. I told God when I did these invocations that I was always going to open up this book. So I'm going to go kind of quick because I know I only have 3 minutes, so keep up with me, please. All right, I'm in 2 Chronicles 7:14, and to give a little context, this is about Solomon and dedicating the temple, and this is when the Lord answers them after their offerings, and he's pleased with them. And so in that, God says in 2 Chronicles 7:14, "If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear them. Then I will hear from heaven, I will forgive their sin, and will heal their land." So I just wanted to share that with you. I know a lot of times we in authority, we can sometimes get a big head on our shoulders, and we all the more need to be humbled before the Lord. So I just want to impress that upon you, and remember that we need to humble ourselves, we need to pray and seek the Lord, and be good representatives for the people. So would you pray with me? Heavenly Father, Lord, we come before you and we thank you for the blessings that we have in this county. God, forgive us. We have a prideful heart at times, Lord, and we need you to break us. We need to humble ourselves before you, Lord, because we know the blessings that can occur and how you can heal our land. Lord, please forgive us for when we have called good evil and evil good. We are so wrong. We think so proudly of ourselves and our own wisdom. God, we need your wisdom. So we ask your guidance and direction and help us as we have this board meeting, and please provide for us and deliver us from our own pride. And it's in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ we pray. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, the next item on the agenda this morning is our special orders of business. We have 2 proclamations and recognitions this morning, and that's why I've asked our vice chairs to join me up here. The first is, I thank you, most of you, for wearing your red this morning. We're wearing red because February is American Heart Month. So we have a proclamation from the county that I'll read in recognition of that. Whereas February is American Heart Month, a nationwide observance that highlights cardiovascular disease and the continued need for education, prevention, and life-saving efforts. And whereas American Heart Month was first proclaimed in 1964 as a national call to take charge of heart health, a mission that remains critically important today. And whereas cardiovascular disease impacts people of all ages and backgrounds and many contributing risk factors, including high blood pressure, cholesterol, physical inactivity, and tobacco use, can be prevented or managed through awareness, education, and healthy lifestyle choices. And whereas organizations, healthcare providers, nonprofits, and community partners across Kent County work year-round to promote heart health, provide life-saving education, and improve health outcomes for residents. And whereas increasing public awareness and encouraging heart-healthy behaviors can lead to longer, healthier lives and stronger communities, now therefore be it proclaimed that the Kent County Board of Commissioners does hereby proclaim February as American Heart Month in Kent County and encourages all residents to take steps to protect their heart health, learn the warning signs of heart disease, and support efforts that advance cardiovascular wellness. So it is proclaimed. So thank you all for participating. And then we will skip the photo because we don't have anybody from the AHA here. This was kind of a last-minute thing, so I'll take responsibility for that. We do have our next item on the agenda is the recognition of the Veteran of the Year, which is Denny Gillum. I'd like to invite Denny and any other folks that would like to come forward to participate. I think we have, yes, we have a couple representatives from the, I think we have somebody from the Senate and you're from Congressman Skolton's office.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I don't know if we have anybody here from the Senator's office, but I'd like to invite Deborah from Congresswoman Skolton's office to go first. We'll do, I'm not going to pull rank on the Congress people, so we'll let the congressional proclamation go first, and then we'll do the county piece. So, Deborah, please welcome.
Thank you. It's my honor to present this certificate of special recognition on behalf of the Congresswoman, presented to Lieutenant Colonel Denny Gillum in recognition of being named the 2025 Kent County Veteran of the Year, honoring his distinguished service to our nation and his invaluable contributions to the veteran community in West Michigan. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Denny. And then I think someone from the United Veterans Council has the program. Yes. I'm not going to be the one to directly recognize and honor Denny. So I'd like to invite you to please come forward and do that. Thank you.
Hi. Yeah, I'm Mel Bauman. I'm commander of the United Veterans Council. And I just wanted to congratulate Denny on being selected as the Kent County Veteran of the Year. And it's not only for 2025, but it's also for 2026. So you're getting it for 2 years, partner. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Can I get a picture?
Well, it'll probably break the camera. Yeah, thank you very much.
I'd also just like to, on behalf of the county, and I'll let Denny speak here, but I just want to thank you, Denny, for all your work in support of our veterans and all your advocacy, and for your service personally. We're truly glad to have you in the community and advocating on behalf of those folks. So thank you very much. Appreciate
Thank you.
it. Please.
41 years ago, I was stationed in Tampa, and they told me, Colonel, you're going to Wyoming, Michigan. And I said, make up your mind, Wyoming or Michigan. I did not want to go to Michigan. I'd only been to Michigan once in my life. That was the Detroit riots in the 1960s. But they sent me here. I was an Army advisor to the Michigan National Guard with my office in the Armory on 44th Street. I didn't want to come, but my wife and I found out, one, all of Michigan is not like Detroit. Two, even Detroit wasn't like Detroit. Three, the West Michigan culture is awesome. And four, we fell in love with the seasons. Not so much winter, but all the rest of it. So we decided to retire and stay here. So we've been here 41 years. Now, by Dutch standards, we're still visitors. But this is an amazing place, even though I'm still a visitor by Dutch standards. This is home. This is the finest place I've had a chance to live. Yeah, we're not perfect, but wow, this is just an awesome place. And it's an awesome place, among other things, because we have good government. Can that be? Yeah, it can. And so I appreciate you all. I'm not sure exactly what I did to earn this recognition. Maybe I just didn't get caught at some things. But I did serve 2 tours in Vietnam as a combat infantryman, and I have been active in veterans organizations, and still am, here in Kent County. This is an amazing place to live. No, we're not perfect, but this is where I'm happy to live. So thank you for this honor. I appreciate it, and thank you for keeping Kent County to be in as awesome a place as it is. I thank you and salute you.
And one more, just to be safe.
One more. Thank you very much.
Appreciate you.
One more, please, thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much, everybody, for participating in that. We appreciate the Veterans Council and Veterans Services, and Denny, thank you for all your work, and we appreciate the participation from our federal representatives this morning as well, as we honor Denny. So thanks so much. We will move to agenda item number 5. Should be 6, I think, but 5. Public comment related only to agenda action items. If you have public comment related to an agenda action item, please tell us which one it is and give us your name. You have up to 3 minutes. Good morning, D.
Grand Rising, everyone. Happy Black History Month. I'm speaking on item D, which is a request to accept a grant from the state of Michigan to reduce community violence. So as you guys know, I am somebody that actually has helped reduce community violence and also had to defend myself, things like that. But I'm really advocating for Kent County to continuously do the work to legislate and get grant funding to actually reduce community violence. I've spoken out and been there for a lot of traumatic things that happen across Kent County. Whether it's police violence, whether it's violence on the black-on-black violence or black on white violence. I'm usually there speaking out and just being a pillar for the community when sometimes our politicians aren't there, and there's people around the community on different sides of the community that should be there, being a voice or just being visible to let people know that, you know, some of these acts, I believe all acts of violence are bad, but sometimes you have to defend yourself, and I believe everybody should have the rights to defend themselves. But as you guys know, I am the person who developed the Youth Justice Influence Esports League. I'm happy that I was able to do that in partnership with you guys because I started on Cedar Street. Like I said, I'm somebody that's been through the justice system. I've been through the juveniles. I've been through the residential placements. I used to be at the Haven before it became the administrative office for the probation and surveillance officers. And for us to be able to partner together and that to expand from Cedar Street to 2 other facilities now being ran across 3 facilities across Kent County. I'd like for you guys to continuously invest into that work because tech is not going away, esports is not going away, digital finance is not going anywhere, and for you guys to continuously invest into that and that to expand, I'm excited to you guys to continuously reduce recidivism. Also, we're going to be hosting a 3-on-3 July 11th. After my birthday, I already got the GI Gold to actually sponsor this. So I'm going to have the NBA G League over here on our side of town at the Lincoln Park. And I'd like for you guys to actually potentially be a part of that. Kent County government, as we're looking to actually reduce community violence. We're actually going to have people from the NBA G League, we're going to do a $1,000 cash prize competition over there at Lincoln Park, and I'd like for Kent County to be involved. I think it'd be a good opportunity for us to partner together and us to be able to really reduce community violence. So if there's an opportunity for you guys to allocate some grant funding to this 3-on-3 that we're doing July 11th, the day after my birthday, which is a Saturday, I'd really like for you guys to be involved. It'd be cool. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else for public comment related to agenda action items only? Okay, I see none. We will move to agenda item number 6, which is the consent agenda. I will call on Commissioner DeBoer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move adoption of the consent agenda.
Thank you. Is there support? Supported by Commissioner Hildebrand. Questions, comments, or discussion on the consent agenda? I see none. With that, this is a roll call vote. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On the motion to adopt the consent agenda, Commissioners Morse. Merchant. DeBoer. Hildenbrand. Steck. Ponstein. Vice Chair Burrow, or Commissioner Burrow. Commissioners Coleman. Halsted. Vice Chair Teal. Commissioner Sparks. McLeod. Hennessy. Oliver King. LeGrand. Womack. Minority Vice Chair Faber. Commissioners Pakla. Morales. Bujek. Chair Green.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, you have 18 yeas, 0 nays. The motion passes. The consent agenda is adopted.
Thank you. We'll move to agenda item number 7, which is resolutions. For 7A, I will call on Commissioner Bujak.
Thank you, Chair Green. I move the adoption of item number 16 of today's date, Michigan Indigent Defense Commission grant position request.
Thank you. Is there support? Supported by Commissioner Womack. Questions, comments, or discussion on this item? I see none. With that, this is a roll call vote. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On the motion to adopt Resolution 16, Commissioners Morse. Merchant. DeBoer. Hildenbrand. Steck. Ponstein. Burl. Coleman. Halsted. Vice Chair Teal. Commissioners Sparks. McLeod. Hennessy. Oliver King. LeGrand. Womack. Minority Vice Chair Faber. Commissioners Pakla. Morales. Bujak. Chair Green.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, you have 18 yeas, 0 nays. The motion passes. Resolution 16 is adopted.
Thank you. Move to item 7B, and I will call on Commissioner LeGrand.
Thank you, Chair. It's my pleasure to propose Resolution 17 of today's date, the opioid settlement approved spending plan. This is a proposal for a public health educator position for prevention, education, expansion in schools.
Thank you. Is there support? Supported by Commissioner Sparks. Questions, comments, or discussion on this item? Yes, Commissioner Ponstein.
Thank you, Chair Green. So Al, I read it, opioid settlement approved spending. How much is still out there? How many people that are still waiting to be sued and ongoing, or is this going to be the end, or does it never end?
I see Jenny approaching the podium. My understanding is that we're through the bigger bulk of them, but there will be others that kind of string along. But Jenny?
Yeah, that's a bit of an unknown. There may be others that come up, but I agree with Al. I think the vast majority of the settlements are now complete.
And have we seen results on what we've spent so far?
We're just in the second year of our spending plan, and the feedback I'm getting from the folks who are doing recovery coaching in the community have been very positive. We're also getting a lot of Narcan out into the community, much more than we have had in the past. And actually today, we're starting the meetings to plan the next phase of spending. And once that plan is prepared, we'll bring it back to the board to review, approve, discuss, and we'll also have data from the first 2 years to bring for you when you consider the next round of spending. You're welcome.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other questions or comments on this item? Okay, I see none. This is again a roll call vote. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On the motion to adopt Resolution 17, Commissioners Morse. Merchant. DeBoer. Hildenbrand. Steck. Ponstein. Burl. Coleman. Halsted. Teal, Vice Chair Teal. I'm trying to work on my little sheet here. It's still February, I got time. Commissioners Sparks. McLeod. Hennessy. Oliver King. LeGrand. Womack. Minority Vice Chair Faber. Commissioners Pakla. Morales. Bujak. Chair Green.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, you have 18 yeas, 0 nays. The motion passes. Resolution 17 is adopted.
Thank you. We'll move to 7C, and I will call on Commissioner DeBoer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move Resolution 18 of today's date and appointment to the Materials Management Planning Committee.
Thank you. Is there support? Supported by Commissioner Hildebrand. Questions, comments, or discussion on this item? I see none. With that, this is a voice vote. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. The motion carries and the resolution is adopted. We'll move to agenda item 7D, and I will call on Commissioner Sparks.
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to move Resolution 19 of today's date, request to accept the Burn Justice Assistance Grant, the JAG grant, through the state of Michigan to reduce community violence.
Thank you. Is there support? Supported by Vice Chair Teal. Questions, comments, or discussion on this agenda item? Commissioner Womack.
Thank you, Chair Green. Just want to thank the Sheriff Department for their collaboration with Urban League and the Interrupters and others that have been putting organizations together to curb violence in Kent County, and a lot of that's going on in my district, so I'm just happy to see that they're definitely partnering with teams out there that are truly making a difference that I can see from having boots on the ground in the 3rd Ward. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Anyone else? Yes, Commissioner Steck.
Thank you, Chair Green. Obviously, youth violence is a huge issue in our community, and it's not just isolated in one area, it is across the county. And having looked at this proposal, I'm pleased to see that it really looks at trying to address violence one individual at a time. What I'm not entirely clear of is what the Sheriff's Department does. I mean, it looks like it is essentially academic, achievement-oriented kind of programming. I don't know that we have too many educators in the Sheriff's Department, but what does the Sheriff's Department do as a part of the
So in order to qualify for the grant, they need a law enforcement sponsor. So we work at providing the analytics, some of the data, some of the trending that we're seeing in the county as that law enforcement sponsor to work with the Urban League.
So the evaluative and analytic component of what that work does is done by the department, and then the rest of the academic achievement or coaching or assistance in getting kids through their academic challenges, that's being done by your partners.
Correct.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yeah, Commissioner Womack.
Could you give us an explanation, a little more information, as it says here, as administered by the Michigan State Police to support the Urban League of West Michigan's work to reduce community violence, to appropriate $335,911 for the fiscal year 2026 for the Sheriff's Special Project Fund budget. So is Urban League, because I know we had one like this earlier where it was the Sheriff's Department and Realism is Loyalty, another great group that's doing work in the community. Is there any other partners besides the Urban League in here? Because that's kind of what I read.
Yeah, the Urban League will work with other nonprofits throughout the community, but that's coordinated through them directly.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to give them a shout out because I know they're located in my district, and when I see people doing the work, I just want to give the kudos, and also the law enforcement and sheriff department for what you're doing, because you touch every area of our 9 cities and our municipalities, and sometimes people think your effect is just the outer. So when great things like this is going on in our area, I just like to continue to tell the great story of Kent County and our sheriff department and the great things that are happening.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Commissioner. Anyone else on this resolution? All right, I see none. With that, this is a roll call vote. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On the motion to adopt Resolution 19, Commissioners Morse? Merchant? DeBoer? Hildenbrand? Steck?
Yes.
Ponstein? Burl?
Yes.
Coleman?
Yes.
Halsted? Vice Chair Teal? Commissioners Sparks?
Yes.
McLeod? Hennessy? Oliver King? LeGrand?
Yes.
Womack?
Yes.
Minority Vice Chair Faber? Commissioners Pakla? Morales? Bujak? Chair Green?
Yes.
Mr. Chair, you have 18 yeas, 0 nays. The motion passes. Resolution 19 is adopted.
Thank you. We'll move to agenda item 7E, and I will call on Commissioner Hildebrand.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move Resolution 20 of today's date, State of Michigan Public Safety Assistance Payments.
Thank you. Is there support? Supported by Commissioner Halsted. Questions, comments, or discussion on this agenda item? All right, I see, Commissioner Hennessy.
This is the operational and capital expenditures for public safety for the Real-Time Intelligence Center. Is that where we're at the agenda?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm trying to find, there's a lot of resolutions. So on this, there was a robust discussion at the Finance Committee, and I'm just wondering, for purposes of this meeting, that we could talk again about, the operational money versus the equipment technology money, and how this will benefit other law enforcement agencies within the county in the protections of privacy. Just a
Yep.
little bit more about this program.
Yeah, just like Commissioner Womack just said, there's other municipalities throughout Kent County, and this money was given to the county sheriff's office to utilize. And it's really going to help fund the backbone of that real-time intelligence center that we're using some of funding right now. That was some of the school funding for the school radio project. But what we believe that is going to take the siloed law enforcement agencies that can't necessarily share information together and allow us to use software platforms to be more effective in public safety, crime prevention, and utilizing law enforcement resources across the county. So it's more for the software behind that, which is the Fusus software, the Slack software to have some communication tools to provide live information to our officers that are in the street, and then the IRIS, which is going to help tip track and identify criminals that may be operating across the county in multiple jurisdictions. And then we're also partnering with Ottawa County to try to bring that network a little bit further outside of the county so that we can address criminal activity and crime prevention across the county. So we're not using the funding solely for the Sheriff's Office initiatives. It really is a county initiative working with all law enforcement partners to make a safer community.
If I could go on.
Sure.
So can you talk to us about the idea of access to once someone
Yep.
gets the equipment, the access, and that would be allowed or not allowed?
Yep, it's all locally owned content, and it's all local law enforcement partners. Even the Michigan State Police at this point don't have access into our database or our systems. It is all the local municipality law enforcement officers in the sheriff's office. No federal partners have access, credentials, or the ability to gain access to that information. Not to say that if they had a criminal investigation that we felt we could share information just like we do today, that we would not provide them information, but they would not be able to have access, credentials, go in, data mine information on their own, or use it for any purpose outside of release from the sheriff's office.
Will this require additional personnel on our part?
At this point, no, because we're already moving in that direction. We've already reallocated resources at the sheriff's office to put personnel into our real-time intelligence operations. This is really going to help us sustain funding for the software that's needed to launch this program, and then hopefully get some additional support from other municipalities for long-term funding to make sure that it stays stable here in Kent County.
Will there be other access points for us to get information on how you're allocating the money out? As I understand it, as we prepared the budget, this wasn't known, the amount wasn't known, and so there'll be other decisions made along the way in terms of the proportions of operational money and purchases.
Yep, our hope is to be completely transparent about what we're doing at the Real-Time Intelligence Center. Right now, we're working through a video for a public launch. We're willing to do community forums, have Q&A anytime. Nothing that we're doing is under the cloak of darkness. This is completely transparent in the interest of public safety.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other questions, comments, discussion on this item? All right, I see none. This is a roll call vote. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On the motion to adopt Resolution 20, Commissioners Morse?
Yes.
Merchant?
Yes.
DeBoer?
Yes.
Hildenbrand?
Yes.
Steck?
Yes.
Ponstein?
Yes.
Burl?
Yes.
Coleman?
Yes.
Halsted?
Yes.
Vice Chair Teal?
Yes.
Commissioner Sparks?
Yes.
McLeod? Hennessy?
Yes.
Oliver King? LeGrand?
Yes.
Womack?
Yes.
Minority Vice Chair Faber?
Yes.
Commissioners Pakla? Morales?
Yes.
Bujak?
Yes.
Chair Green?
Yes.
Mr. Chair, you have 18 yeas, 0 nays. The motion passes. Resolution 20 is adopted.
Thank you. We will move to agenda item 7F, and in Commissioner McLeod's absence, I will call on Minority Vice Chair Faber.
Thank you, Chair. Actually, I love this agenda item every year. So I would like to move item number 21 of today's date, the 2026 Remonumentation Grant.
Support.
Thank you. It's supported by Commissioner Coleman. Questions, comments, or discussion on this item? Yes, Commissioner Ponstein.
Thank you, Chair Green. So I spoke a little bit about this at the committee meeting. So the remonumentation program, I mean, Kent County was one of the first to remonument all these monuments across the county. The funny thing about the surveying industry and the engineering industry, they're the ones that have embraced technology for a long time and time again, with the latest technologies, jobs are, eliminated. So the system of remonuments is pretty much getting outdated. With the new GIS systems, one person can tell you exactly where he is at any moment within this county. It's not because of those monuments that we've paid to put in the ground, but the GPS stations that are intact now, where surveyors can do the job more efficiently and hopefully for less money. So I'm not going to vote against this. I mean, the money's already there, but this is just another example of state and government just not being able to let something go after it's outlived its purpose. And, these programs aren't funded by the state, they're funded by taxpayers, builders, developers. And I just think we got to keep that in mind, that as this new savior of ours that's coming called AI, a lot of things are going to be obsolete, including a lot of the people, in the room. So that's my concern about this. I'm not going to vote no on it, but it is an example of a state program that has outlived its life.
Thank you, Commissioner. Anyone else on this item? Okay, I see none. This is again a roll call vote. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On the motion to adopt Resolution 21, Commissioners Morse?
Yes.
Merchant?
Yes.
DeBoer?
Yes.
Hildenbrand?
Yes.
Steck?
Yes.
Ponstein?
Yes.
Burl?
Yes.
Coleman?
Yes.
Halsted?
Yes.
Vice Chair Teal?
Yes.
Commissioner Sparks?
Yes.
McLeod? Hennessy?
Yes.
Oliver King? LeGrand?
Yes.
Womack?
Yes.
Minority Vice Chair Faber?
Yes.
Commissioners Pakla? Morales?
Yes.
Bujak?
Yes.
Chair Green?
Yes.
Mr. Chair, you have 18 yeas, 0 nays. The motion passes. Resolution 21 is adopted.
Thank you. We'll move to item G, and I will call on Commissioner Hildebrand.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move Resolution 22 of today's date, authorize acquiring and signing easements for construction of the Pettis Avenue portion of a non-motorized trail.
Thank you. Is there support? Supported by Commissioner Morse. Questions, comments, or discussion on this item? Commissioner Steck.
Thank you, Chair Green. I'm curious whether or not we do have all of the pathway under easement at this point, or are there still segments along the way that need to be acquired through negotiations or other aspects?
defer to Parks Director Ben Swayze on that one. Good morning, Ben.
Thank you. So for this specific section, the engineer, LRE, has engaged Land Matters. They do a lot of the easement acquisition for all sorts of projects all over the county. So the list in your packet is the ones that we are pursuing. I would say right now about half of those we're in agreement. The people are excited about the project. We have some people that are yet to write back to us. We've had one straight out no. The interesting part about this and the way that pathway projects work with the road commission is that they want you to initially design the pathway within their standards. In order to meet their standards, these are the list of easements that we need. As we're not able to obtain those easements in certain instances, we can go back to the road commission and request altering the design standard. Sometimes you're a little bit more close to the road, sometimes the path is a little bit narrow. So none of these easements can actually hold up the project. We may have to redesign around one or two if we're unable to get them.
So I've worked on a number of these, and I know what it's like when you get down to those last few that are the holdouts, because they're the ones that are asking for the most money, and then involve a substantial cost if you have to design around them. That's what I'm curious. The cost of the acquisition is usually our cost, the county's cost?
Correct.
Yep. That's not grant cost.
Well, no, so it is, it is our cost, but it's being funded through either, there's two funding sources for this project, the DGRI grant, and then the Kent County ARPA allocation. So none of that's actually coming from general fund dollars of the county.
Right. So, again, getting back to what's not resolved at this point, any idea how many of, what percentage? Do we have about 10% of them not resolved?
So I'd say we probably have, officially, we probably have 50% that aren't resolved, but some of those are, so like 4 of them are held by our common areas for homeowners association. They just have to go through their process, right? So they have to get everybody together, meet. In some cases, they have to reform their board. But those are essentially resolved, just not officially resolved. So I think we have, I don't know, I'd say maybe 20% are either non-responsive or we're still working out details. And like I said, we have one that for sure has told us straight out, no, they will not give us the easement. But there's really only one that the engineer was really worried about, and that person has been cooperative.
Okay. I know it's sort of like a slinky going down the stairs. You don't get there until the last one rolls down.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Steck. Anyone else on this item? All right, I see none. This is a voice vote. All those in favor of adopting the resolution say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. The motion carries and the resolution is adopted. Move to agenda item 7H, and I will call on Vice Chair Teal.
Thank you, Chair Green. I move resolution number 23, Board of Commissioners 2026 Strategic Plan.
Thank you. Is there support? Supported by Commissioner Boujak. Questions, comments, or discussion on this item? Commissioner Ponstein.
Thank you, Chair Green. So first, I just want to thank everyone that worked on it. In my 46 years in public office, I've seen a lot of strategic plans come and go. I'm not opposed to it. I think, plans like these are set up to look at where a governmental unit or a business is lacking and what needs to be done to either resolve those issues or expand the size and scope of the mission. And of late, I've been to a lot of meetings about the greatness of data centers and artificial intelligence that, I'm really kind of hesitant to even, say that this is needed with all these unknowns that are occurring. I mean, how many employees are we going to have after the data centers and AI get fully developed? I mean, what is government going to look at? I mean, we're building a strategic plan on a model of the present, but the future seems to be months away. So that's my only concern. But I do appreciate it. I'm not going to vote no on it. We're moving forward, but I've got some concerns with this push of the greatness of data and artificial intelligence. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Steck.
Thank you, Chair Green. I think the current changes are really sort of correctional modifications. The bulk of this plan was adopted some time ago. I thought maybe Commissioner Ponstein was concerned that we have inadvertently taken District 6 out of the county, or District 7, I'm sorry, I'm still in, you're
That would
out.
be all right, actually. Close to Ottawa County.
All right, thank you.
Commissioner Bujak.
Thank you, Chair Green. I just wanted to speak to the process and my appreciation of the administration and bringing us all together as commissioners to work on this. It was a great exercise. Good to see all the commissioners working together and giving input. And we were sent this plan here early last month and asked if there were any final comments that we wanted to input on that plan. And I was very pleased to see that, you know, you can, as a commissioner, input your comments, and it goes to the committee, and they actually take your comments and, you know, implement your ideas. So the process works, and I just wanted to say I appreciate the administrator and glad to be a part of it, and I will be voting to support this.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Hennessy.
Thank you. Can you address, I think this is a really nice strategic plan. I think it presents well. I think that residents will be able to understand a little bit more, easily understand, you know, what it is Kent County does and our priorities. But it'll all be in the implementation, and we've worked a lot as a commission on priorities for that. Can you speak a little bit more as to how these ideas and these thoughts from this plan will be implemented?
I know that's directed at me, but it's really directed at Al, so I'll hand it to Al.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, we've, as you know, we've worked for several years to try to hone in on the best approach for strategic planning. And this year are looking at developing kind of a companion administrative management strategic plan, business plan, I should say, that will be more of the implementation document that we will regularly report out on during the year and tie back to the principles and the goals of the strategic plan, goals and objectives of the board's strategic plan.
Thank you, Commissioner. Anyone else? Commissioner Coleman.
Thank you, Chair. I think it was maybe Eisenhower, somebody who said, you know, the plan is nothing, but the planning's everything. And I think that's true in the details, and I agree with Commissioner Hennessy's comments of, you know, obviously those of us, you know, in the details, staff more than commissioners, the details of the plan are important for execution. But the strategic plan that we communicate out is really just that. It's a communication tool to constituencies that need to understand this. And I think this is a significant attempt at improving the use of the strategic plan as a communication tool that's effective. I think it's a little lighter weight. It's a little more, you know, focused on kind of scannable content, infographics and whatnot. And I think that's a great attempt at improving the strategic plan for that purpose, to communicate with those who are not in the details of what's being implemented. And so I appreciate all the effort that went into it, and I'm very supportive.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, I see none. I'll just add, I appreciate the effort on this. I think this is, strategic planning has come up a number of times over the years as, I mean, we just have fits and starts with it. I think commissioners have loved it and hated it and felt like we're not, but I wanted to give kudos to the team for being open to like tweaking how we approach this work. We've been trying to fine tune it over the years. I think we're getting closer, so we'll keep at it. So I appreciate the work that everybody put into it. All right, with that, this is a voice vote. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. The motion carries and the resolution is adopted. We'll move to our last resolution of the day, and I will again call on Vice Chair Teal.
Thank you, Chair Green. I move resolution number 24, resolution establishing a Kent County property assessed clean energy district.
Thank you. Is there support? Supported by Commissioner Steck. Questions, comments, or discussion on this item? Commissioner Faber, Vice Chair Faber.
Thank you, Chair. I know this has been on our list of things to do for quite a while, and I think I kind of resurrected it maybe about this time last year, and it's taken about that long to get us here. So I want to thank everybody for that helped kind of usher this along, take down those last few barriers to getting across the line. And I want to encourage us, partly why we sort of looked at this again early last year was we now have our Brownfield Authority Board. And the county has been progressively building what I would say is a toolkit for developers in our community. And we, at our policy committee meeting on Tuesday, we heard from Gustavo at KCAA as well, KCCA, about some of the work we're doing with weatherization and working with contractors. And I really want to encourage us as we kind of continue to put tools in the toolbox, how do we think differently potentially about how we communicate what those tools are to developers and to contractors in the community. I don't know if that comes through purchasing or it comes through all these independent departments, but it occurs to me that we have the opportunity to make this a little more front-facing, that we now have some things that are really county-led in partnership with the community that developers can take advantage of as we think about some of those items I just read in our strategic plan around housing and economic development. So again, thank you for helping move this forward, and I am in great support.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Ponstein.
Thank you, Chair Green. So yes, I have to agree, this PACE program has been talked about for years and years. And I think what it comes down to is, what is the role of property taxes? So now we want something to add to the toolkit where the county is going to have a program run through I'm assuming the Treasury, so we can add things to the growing list of things that people are responsible on their property taxes. And with businesses, I know PACE has got this eye on, new energy sources, renewable energy, and, you name it. And it's kind of like when you used to buy a computer, they said the moment you turned it on, it's already outdated. And why government feels that they need to be in the financing of projects for businesses, I have no idea. But I think probably the reason is the banks probably don't want it. I mean, to me, it looks like a risky investment when you're putting money up against a renewable project. You would think that banks would be lined up, but they're not. But for somehow we're being pushed once again to government to step in for all the solutions. We're not in the financing business. And certainly, we don't need our property tax system, which is already overwhelmed with another thing that a business can default on and lose their business. So I will be a no, and I'm requesting a roll call vote.
All right. Thank you, Commissioner. Roll call vote has been requested. We will do that. Commissioner Steck.
Thank you, Chair Green. Just to clarify, my understanding of the PACE program, there's no tax dollars involved. The county and government is not the financing institution that provides the funds for these programs. Only it does is it basically allows the potential enforcement process, if that ever happens, to run through the tax foreclosure type of process. But ultimately, these are not government funds that are used.
Correct, and certainly there aren't a huge number of projects. It is, as has been described, a tool in the toolbox that can be very helpful. I think there's a couple projects out there right now that might be able to take advantage of this. Certainly, we studied up on our cities in the county that use this in some neighboring counties. So, yeah, it's totally, it's at the request of the project. and not something that applies generally to any more than that.
But it's a transaction essentially negotiated between an individual property owner or developer and a bank, an institution that agrees to provide the funds for that. It's not our money, it's not the state's money, it's not the federal money, it's private bank money.
And also, we don't have any liability for any kind of repayment of anything either.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner DeBoer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Do you foresee any liability or increase in property taxes with this district?
No. This is completely voluntary on the part of the property owner. There's no government mandate that anybody participate in this.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. I'll go to Commissioner Womack and then back to you, Commissioner Ponstein.
Thank you very much, Chair Green. In reading it and also watching a few years ago when now State Representative Steve Wooden was talking about the PACE program, but even my earlier reviews of it, I'm glad to know that there's no county funds or property taxes going to be used in the PACE program. My question, I will be supporting it. My question, I don't know if someone's here supporting the PACE program or if Mr. Vandenberg would know, but I remember asking them what makes it advantageous for people to go through the PACE program if their percentage rate, is it going to be lower? Is it going to favor businesses that may have a problem going through our banking system? What is the APR on the PACE program?
It is an arrangement that can result in lower interest rates and more favorable financing terms with the bank, and the property is secured through a lien on the property.
Okay.
That's the trade-off to get that.
Thank you very much, because I didn't see it in today's paperwork, but that's why we have our administrator. Thank you. My question's been answered.
Thank you, Commissioner Womack. Commissioner Ponstein for a second. I should go to Commissioner Morales for first and then, sorry, Commissioner, I just saw Commissioner Morales. Commissioner Morales.
Hi, I just want to speak in support of the PACE program. Most of us received an email from Bill Knapp explaining how the program works. It's not using tax dollars, it's not really putting an administrative burden on the county, and it's something that with businesses able to have access to capital to improve their properties, that means that the property value increases, which I think is a benefit for us overall. So it just feels like a very obvious win-win. And I think that the economic impacts of it are going to be really positive and something that'll play out in the long run, I think, ultimately in our favor. So I'm going to be voting in support.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Kallman for a first.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Initially, when we were considering the whole PACE program in finance, I shared a lot of what I hear Commissioner Ponstein expressing concerns about this. I think the concern being, somebody going to take out a 20% interest loan to do something extremely speculative where they, want to power their factory with, rainbows and unicorns, right? Like getting themselves into a terrible situation. And I think that this does have, as my understanding has deepened, it does have constraints that avoid that to a large extent, because if there are other lien holders on, say, commercial property, those lien holders have to consent to, moving a position in terms of their claim on that property, which means a natural constraint on doing anything at usurious terms or doing anything that would just be ridiculously stupid. And so I'm supportive of it as a tool, knowing that those constraints are there to avoid that. I would encourage, as I think Kent County's done a good job of over the decades, is to not end up with a tool that gets established becoming permanent forever. So as commissioners in 10, 12 years are closely reading the minutes from today, I would just encourage them to consider that if this tool has outlived its usefulness, that we close it down, we keep things fresh. We don't have processes and tools in place just because we always have. I think we've done a good job over the years of cleaning up and closing down things that are, outdated tools or no longer necessary or what have you. And so I think in future decades that this would be something to consider to close, freshen, change, whatever. But for now, I'm supportive.
Thank you, Commissioner. Anyone else for a first time before I go back to Commissioner Ponstein? Okay, I see now. Commissioner Ponstein for a second.
It's just a clarification. I don't think I ever said that taxpayer money and county monies were going to be used. It's just what is the role of government? That's my big thing. And, we always want things in the toolbox. It's really kind of funny. When we had a land bank, they were looking at the PACE program too, along with other things, to drive this sector. And it was this commission that ended the land bank, saying that that's not the role of government. And I just find that, we're coming back full circle now, and now it is acceptable, but when the land bank was operational, things like that weren't. So, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Womack.
I'll be brief. I just look at the point that government has always been involved. When we look all the way from the railroads to the Federal Reserve and being able to continue to put money into circulation, that helps this economy, even if it isn't go back sometime. But we're looking to get to zero emissions, and having a recent home in Grand Rapids that was 100% energy efficient, made by Builder Dale Harst, I just believe there's going to be other people that can utilize this, and it takes limited participation by Kent County doing something we already do when it comes to making sure people are either paying their taxes. This is going to make banks more apt to say, if you want to do these projects, we're willing to tap in because of the leverage that's coming in from Kent County. So I'm just glad we're supporting it and just studying a lot of the different things that are available now for us to be energy efficient, environmentally efficient. I don't think we're in the caveman days of that. I think we've got some great new technology out there that these businesses will be able to utilize. They're major people that can do their homework and decide if they want to be a part. And I'm just glad that Kent County is stepping forward to help and lead that.
Thank you, Commissioner. I should have noted that was a second for Commissioner Womack as well. Anyone else? Questions, comments, discussion on this item? Okay, I see none. Commissioner Ponstein has, I'm sorry, Commissioner Steck for a second.
I couldn't resist a second. Thank you, Chair Green. I'm certainly sensitive to Commissioner Ponstein's concern that, government shouldn't be sticking its nose where it doesn't belong. But the engagement and the role of the government in this is so incidental, and the benefits outweigh any of that concern to me. So I'll support it. Thank you.
Thank you. Last call on this one. All right. I see none. Commissioner Ponstein has requested a roll call vote. We, according to the rules, will honor that request. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On the motion to adopt Resolution 24, Commissioners Morse. Yes. Merchant.
Yes.
DeBoer.
Yes.
Hildenbrand.
Yes.
Steck.
Yes.
Ponstein. No. Burl.
Yes.
Coleman.
Yes.
Halsted.
Yes.
Vice Chair Teal.
Yes.
Commissioner Sparks. McLeod. Hennessy.
Yes.
Oliver King. LeGrand.
Yes.
Womack.
Yes.
Minority Vice Chair Faber.
Yes.
Commissioners Pakla. Morales.
Yes.
Bujak.
Yes.
Chair Green.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, you have 17 yeas, 1 nay. The motion passes. Resolution 24 is adopted.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. We'll move to agenda item number 8, which is public comment related to general county matters. Is anyone with public comment related to general county matters? You have up to 3 minutes. Good morning again.
Grand Rising, everyone. D. Jones. Couple things. So, to the Hispanic community, I do have Hispanic nieces and nephews, and I do believe this is just my own view on this, that a sanctuary city would be dangerous. I do believe that we should have protections for our immigrant community and the Hispanic community. I know that there are some Republicans that do support ICE, and I don't have any opinions about that. But I am going to say that I think it will put a target on our city's back, on our county's back, and seeing how ruthless some of these Republicans and some of these ICE officers are. I think it will cause a very, very bad harm to our community. And seeing people get shot, Americans get shot, Caucasian people getting shot by these ICE officers, the blood that could be on the cities and the county's hands or the constituents' hands and the community's hands could be a bad thing. And so as I am for 100% of protecting everyone and being sure that we have good policies in place, and hopefully some of the Republicans can support good policies, because I don't believe anybody is illegal on stolen land, and I don't believe that anybody is illegal with our stolen history, and it's Black History Month. And so I'd really ask for you guys to do the best we can to support our immigrant community and our Hispanic community. I know some of you guys support ICE, and I don't support ICE. Like I said, I know this is the history of America, and the American way, which is the M way, which is really African-American way, which is African-American history. The American history is an African-American history. And so I would like people to really consider this, to do the best by our constituents, because to see Caucasian ladies get shot by ICE officers, federal agencies, is not cool. Also, you guys know that I've been doing a lot of infrastructure work. I'm going to be on the Infrastructure and Natural Resources Committee for our GR chambers and the Tax and Regulatory Committee. So I will be pushing digital finance, cryptocurrency, 3D printing, construction, and trying to equitably be able to build our infrastructure and our economy, because I know that historically this county has pushed policies that kept us in poverty. African Americans, even you guys, even with the building codes, the Republicans like construction, dislike the Democrats like construction, and I like construction. But the codes make it so hard for us to be able to have equitable, equal construction where it's not so expensive. And so I'd also advocate for that too, because I really want our economy and our community to be as safe and welcoming as possible. You guys didn't let me be a part of the welcome plan, but I think I'm a very welcoming citizen. I think I love people. I think I'm very thorough. I know that, you know, we probably have our difference of opinions about these federal agencies and the federal government, but I think we could come together to do what's best for the community and to keep every constituent safe. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else for public comment related to general county matters? Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Jennifer Franson, and I'm the founder and executive director of an organization called ICI Nation, Connecting Cops and Community to Strengthen the City. And so you as commissioners, you're here, you're invested 110% looking at the bigger vision of how to keep everybody safe, healthy, looking at a bigger vision than most organizations. And I want to tell you how your police and community are partnering with you to do that, and specifically your Kent County Sheriff's Department. I want to share with you 3 incidents that happened just over the past few last months. I was contacted by a sergeant who said, Jennifer, we have a mother and a father with their baby. They just moved into town. They're in an apartment. They hardly have anything. The father died in his sleep last night. The mother is crying. She doesn't want to be alone. Do you know anyone in the community that could help her? So ICI doesn't have the resources, but ICI has the connections. And so we were able to contact City Church that same morning, and within 2 hours, there was a woman there to stay with her for the rest of the day. There was a team put together to go out and start buying furniture that she didn't yet have for the apartment, and to connect her with her parents. That was just your police going above and beyond and connecting with your community to serve your community. Another example, it's the week of Christmas, and an officer gives a woman ICI Nation's contact info. She filed for presents, for Toys for Tots for her 5 kids, and they were in the back of her car, and they were all stolen. So the police officer gave her my organization and said, you can see if they can help. She contacted me, and within that same day, we contacted Resources to Help, who not only by the next day took her presents for all of her family, but then brought their family food and an abundance. Just the next day, 2 days before Christmas. Again, your police going above and beyond to help your community serve. Lastly, just recently, I was contacted by an officer, and he said, again, taking his own time to go above and beyond, he said there's a 19-year-old girl, and her parents have lost right to her and her siblings because of drugs and abuse. The 19-year-old now has custody of a 16-year-old, and they don't have a place to live. You know, do you know anyone that can help her? Again, ICI doesn't have the answers, but we have the connections. And we were able to put him in touch with several different organizations that would come alongside her, and he could give them her information. The mission of ICI Nation is to build relationships and trust between your police and your community, because we believe our vision is a unified city or county that protects and serves together. They call out the value, and it's an honor. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. Anyone else for public comment related to general county matters? Good morning.
Good morning. I originally was going to read the 6 demands for Sanctuary City.
I'm sorry, can you give us your name?
Teresa
Thank you.
Lewis. And then you started talking about Health Month, you know, Heart Health Month. And I'm curious, what in the world do you think about the heart of the immigrants that are being torn apart from their family? We are allowing them to be terrorized. Our law providers are allowing this to continue. Are you going to create a special month for honoring them and showing them that we care about their hearts? You've allowed, you talk about transparency. I am so sick of that word transparency because it comes from the Oval Office. They're being the most transparent. We had a commissioner here say, oh, kudos to the Grand Rapids Sheriff's Department for being transparent. But they aren't transparent when it comes to their policies of working with ICE and holding people that are in detainment for ICE. They're not public about that. And then sitting up here and saying you're going to vote for something that you don't believe in, isn't that kind of what got us into this problem in the first place? You know, I am just appalled at, and I'm rambling and I'm sorry about that, but really, do you have mirrors at home? Look at yourself in a mirror and say, what are we allowing to happen in our city, in our county?
Thank you. Anyone else for public comment, general county matters? Good morning.
My name's Charlie Snedeker, lifelong resident of Kent County. I was accused of overreacting last year when I shouted the warnings about Immigration Customs Enforcement, also known as ICE. Now in Baldwin, Michigan, 1,400 of our neighbors are being incarcerated. Almost 5,000 immigrants have been detained in Michigan, and over 73,000 detained in the United States. Am I overreacting? I think not. Claiming that illegal immigrants are dangerous is bullshit.
Sir, will not tolerate vulgar language. Please
The
continue.
vast majority of both documented and undocumented immigrants are not criminals. Department of Homeland Security statistics state that 73% of people detained by ICE have had no criminal convictions. They are law-abiding members of our community. So far, you have received over 6,000 digital letters telling you to adopt sanctuary policies to reduce the harm to the affected communities in Kent County, and yet you have done nothing. I'm here today to remind you about community safety, trust, and the values we claim to stand for as a county. Our public spaces, our libraries, our courts, our schools, our health clinics, our county buildings exist to serve everyone who lives here in Kent County. Now listen to these words. All of us, including elected officials, must do what we can to stop the injustice of ICE immigration techniques. We can't let this happen, folks. This is our country, and we have to stand for this country. We have to stand for something for our neighbors, and that is what I'm doing here today by showing up. I know there's some conversations amongst this Board of Commissioners to make sure all attempts at any resolutions must be completely within the realm of legality. But I want to remind my commissioners and members of my community that what ICE doing is illegal. They are violating the laws themselves. So to hold ourselves to the standards of law and regulations, well, at a certain point, you just got to say no. They're violating the law, and we need to stand up and make a stand. We have to push the envelope, folks. We have to be bold, we have to be brave, and we have to do what is right. These are not my words. These are the words of a county commissioner from Washtenaw County, where county commissioners have actually taken a stand against the terrors of ICE. You might say immigration is a federal matter. Since federal law prevails, you might believe you are powerless. But you are not powerless. We are not powerless. Or maybe you're just suggesting that we should just believe that being good, law-abiding citizens will protect us. We comply, we obey, we look away, because law-abiding citizens will never be affected.
Thank you.
Tell that to the 1,000 incarcerated individuals imprisoned at the North Lake facility.
Thank you, Mr. Snedeker.
Who committed no crime. But I won't look away.
Thank you.
I'll do what I can to end the terror of ICE.
Thank you.
I won't look away, and you shouldn't.
Thank you, sir. Is there anybody else for public comment? Good morning.
Good morning. So we're back again to talk about these important issues. We really need you
Sorry,
to
can you give us
listen.
your name for the record,
Oh, I'm
please?
sorry. Sharon Hickox.
Thank you, Sharon.
Longtime constituent. I listened to you this morning talking about, heart healthy and reducing community violence and putting things in the toolbox. And so keep all that in mind, but I do have to read from my paper. I don't have it memorized. With the present administration, deportations, and ICE violence, it is imperative that institutions across Michigan step up and take action in support of our undocumented immigrants who are an integral part of our community. I will say the policies again, because this is what COSACHA has requested, that they be adopted. Policies that prohibit local law enforcement detaining individuals on civil immigration warrants. Policies that prevent the GRPD and Sheriff's Department to collaborate with ICE. Policies that prohibit the sharing of personal data gathered by the city and county, including information gathered by Flock Technology. Policies that ban agreements 287G with ICE. Policies that oppose the establishment of detention centers in the city and county limits. Policies that prevent entering in agreements with entities that have current contracts with ICE. We have to make clear that immigrants are valued members of our community and their safety needs to be a priority. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else for public comment this morning? Okay, I see none. Thank you, everyone. We will move to agenda item number 9, which is the administrator's report.
The only thing I have today is just a reminder that we have a budget work session immediately following this board meeting, and look forward to engaging with the board on the budget.
Thank you, Al. I have no report from the chair this morning. We will move to agenda item number 11, which is commissioner comments. Commissioners, reminder that you have up to 2 minutes. Anybody for commissioner comments this morning? Commissioner Bujak.
Thank you, Chair Green. I'll try to keep it under 2 minutes. I just wanted to thank Lieutenant Denny Gillum on his award this morning. And he said some very, very positive things about the quality of life here in Michigan, West Michigan. And he said some other words that I was very, very pleased to hear, which you don't hear very often, which is he commented that he felt that we as a board are good government. And I have to agree that I do believe that we as a county commission are doing our best to provide good government for the citizens of Kent County. So I just wanted to congratulate Danny Gillum on his award and thank him for the positive words that he shared with us this morning.
Thank you. Commissioner Morales.
Thank you, Chair Green. I would like to remind you all and also invite you all to KCCA's Walk for Warmth on Saturday, February 28th. We're going to be starting at, I think, 8:30 in the morning over at the KCCA building on MLK and I forgot the cross street, Jefferson. So I hope to see you there. You know, it's just a great time to support our neighbors. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Ponstein.
Thank you, Chair Green. So when I was growing up, I was blessed to have an uncle who was a Chicago police officer who was one of the ones that were trying to protect property and people from the riots in the 60s. And there was a front page picture of him on the Chicago Tribune of his face all bloody and broken open because a Molotov cocktail was thrown at him. Our law enforcement and people that are in place to enforce our laws, there's no reason for them to be abused, threatened, and sometimes actions against them that may be life-threatening. Now, I get it. What happened with the ICE officers, I wish I could change it. I'm appalled as anyone. Why they were shot, but then again, why were they resisting arrest, threatening these officers, throwing ice bottles of water at them? Look at the LA ones where they were shooting fireworks at these folks. I mean, it's got to end. And at the end of the day, it's not sanctuary cities, it's not us. Congress was the one that created ICE. Congress is the one that put the laws in place, and Congress is the one that funds ICE. Now, when Joe Biden was president, he had control of both houses and him. They could have addressed the problem with immigration. They didn't. What they did is chose to open our borders and let anyone in unvetted. That's wrong. So if it's anything that our county commission isn't working, Congress isn't working, and it's a broken system. And that's where it's going to find a solution, but I'm not holding out. But at the end of the day, this isn't anything new. President Obama used ICE, deported hundreds of thousands of people. Clinton did, Bush did, all of them. But they didn't have any riots. They were praised in the media.
Thank you, Commissioner.
I get it. You hate President Donald Trump. There's some things about him that I don't like.
Commissioner,
but
we got to wrap up.
This has got to stop.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Commissioner Faber.
Thank you, Chair. Just a quick update from the Brownfield Authority. We are doing we put out an RFP last month. Several firms have replied to that. We'll be evaluating those, I believe, tomorrow. And that's for work to help us vet proposals that come to us. So as developers apply for the Brownfield, we wanted to have some expertise in our back pocket that would allow us to really evaluate the pro forma and understand how they're putting together their numbers so that when they say, hey, we really need this assistance, we are in a better place to say, yes, we agree, or we'd like you to adjust. And so I think, again, to reiterate, another tool in the toolbox, because I think this is something that other brownfield authorities around the county could also benefit from if we're successful at doing it. And so these are complex projects, and as I've talked with developers, the process of putting together their capital stack right now is very challenging in Kent County. And so I'm thrilled that we're kind of moving into this area, and hopefully I can report out in a month or so what firm we've signed with in order to do that work.
Thank you. Commissioner Womack.
Yes, I just want to thank Under Sheriff Brian Muir for being able to ask a lot of questions I had coming from constituents about ICE. Always willing to meet any groups that may have some questions for the Sheriff Department or Kent County, because as it's been said, our role not being the federal government, there are some things we could say, some things we could do, but it would be like pulling a gun without bullets on an army full of bullets. I believe in holding law enforcement accountable. There's things I've seen done by ICE nationally that abhor me, that I don't agree with. But at the same time, there's some steps been taken by our Sheriff Department that are risky to not involve themselves in what's going on federally. But there seem to be people who come that have a difference of opinion. We can't get it always settled in public comment, but they can reach me at wygr32@yahoo.com, and I'm willing to come out, talk with anybody, and if I'm not asking the right questions, find out what other questions are there. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Womack. Anyone else for commissioner comments this morning? Okay, I see none. I would just like to reiterate what Al said. We will have a work session following this. Let's say, I realize that clock is not always right. Let's say 10 o'clock, which I think is when it was actually scheduled for. So we'll plan on 10 o'clock. I'd like to ask everyone to get together for a photo as soon as we adjourn for Heart Month. So with that, I will call on Commissioner DeBoer for a motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move adjournment until the subject to the call of the chair.
Thank you. Is there support? Supported by Commissioner Burl. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. The motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.